we've come to the new year. Naturally, what happens is updates to anti-doping rules for triathletes have come into effect. The World Anti-Doping Agency took another look at their code. Every year or so, they do a line-by-line discussion of the WADA prohibited list to determine which substances and treatment methods should be prohibited either within or outside of competition, okay? And if you are a member of a national federation like USA Triathlon, or you're participating in a major race series like the Ironman series, these organizations use WADA's code to enforce anti-doping rules, both for age group and professional athletes. Why age groupers? Well, naturally, there are some events that have very high cachet in the triathlon world, especially if you are a participant in an Ironman series event. You know that everybody wants to go to the World Championships, either the 70.3 or the full distance, and there's lots of bragging rights to being able to do that. So the pro and amateur triathletes are all held to a same standard, all right? So this year, there's been some changes in the WADA prohibited list to certain substances and treatments. Most common one being talked about this year is medications that are prescribed normally for asthma. These are ones that often pro athletes get hit for, because as an asthmatic, I can tell you that some of the drugs that are used for asthma treatments, they can make me breathe, allow me to breathe nicely when I have the need to take them. But on days when I'm feeling really, really good, there's a potential and a possibility for my performance to be enhanced. So that's the reason that a lot of these asthma drugs are really taking a close look at, okay? If you are a person who suffers from asthma, you probably need to know specifically the WADA code and whether the drugs that you're taking are falling into those gray or dark areas, specifically in and outside of competition. The WADA prohibited list will provide all that. You can also look to the Global Drug Reference online to see if medication that you're taking or considering taking is in compliance with the WADA code, okay? So, if you need to use a prohibited substance for medical reasons, WADA says you need to apply for what's known as a therapeutic use exemption. That says, hey, I have a medical necessity, I need to use this, okay? In an emergency situation, WADA and USADA understand that an athlete's health comes first. Let's say you go to the hospital and you get given a lot of medications that are otherwise on the prohibited list. They understand that. And then go back, you just need to go ahead and submit a form and say, I had an emergency situation, I had to take this medication. Mea culpa. It's not my fault. It was a choice between taking it or having a bad outcome, okay? So otherwise, WADA says, hey, submit a pre-check form, to determine whether you're going to need a TUE. In the U.S., all these applications go through the USADA, the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency. If you're an age group athlete, this is important, but the focus in clearing these TUEs is more highly focused towards top shelf age groupers and international level athletes, okay? So let's talk real quickly about a couple of the drugs that you're not allowed, that have made changes, especially when you're talking with regards to asthma. So if you are taking cortisone, prednisolone, for like asthma, inflammatory bowel disease, arthritis, any autoimmune diseases such as like Hashimoto's thyroiditis or a cancer, injected glucocorticoids, so cortisone, prednisone, and whatnot, are not allowed if you're in an in-competition status. Outside of competition is a different story. Actually, WADA allows glucocorticoids, so let's just say cortisone for short, in and out of competition either by inhaler, nasal spray, eye drops, topical creams, or dental applications. All right. But once again, follow the WADA rules. Take a good close look at the WADA rules. Another drug that's being focused upon is albuterol, which is usually you'll see like inhalers or puffers that are being prescribed by doctors. Another term is salbutamol. So it prevents and treats wheezing and shortness of breath caused by a breathing problem such as asthma or COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or exercise-induced asthma. Okay. Why are they limiting this? Well, athletes who don't have asthma can get not only a performance-enhancing benefit, but they can run the risk if they take a dose that's too high of becoming dizzy, getting headaches, and having nausea. So, bad effects, okay? So, under the 2022 list, daily dosing interval for albuterol is reduced to 6 puffs of a puffer over 8 hours. If an athlete needs a dose that's higher than that limit, they need to apply for a TUE. Right? Other puffer drugs outside of albuterol or salbutamol pretty much remain unchanged. Right? There are experimental compound drugs or compounds making their way into wellness and anti-aging treatments, which seem to be the rage. Here in Japan, there's a lot of adverts about drugs and nostrums and stuff like that to help people, maintain their energy and sustain their good health over time. And we got here in Japan, they've got like the highest life expectancy of the whole darn world, so it's interesting. But BPC 157 was added to this list, just one of those compounds, because there was a lack of data. They don't have any proof that it works to treat any specific medical condition or a safe dose, so there's no reason that a TUE can be granted, all right? If you're the type of person that takes dietary supplements, workout, pre and post workout supplements, you might want to consider taking a very close look at what you've got there. FDA found 776 supplements from more than 145 companies that were contaminated with drugs, including prescription meds, banned and unapproved chemicals, and steroids or steroid-like ingredients. So the WADA and USADA rules basically say that you are ultimately responsible, athlete, for everything that goes into your body, including if the supplements are contaminated, okay? If you want to make sure that your supplements aren't tainted, you can check the NSF International Global Certified for Sport list. This is an independent third-party certification program, and I will put the URL up here above me. So if you want to know a complete list of substances and methods banned in or out of competition, which is probably a good idea if you plan on competing and participating in big races this year, make sure you visit the WADA Prohibited list or search for specific meds or supplement ingredients on the global DRO, and I'll put the URL above me, okay? And that's about all I've got to say. Hopefully this wasn't too terribly confusing, and I will talk with you guys again soon. If you have any questions, you can reach me on Facebook at www.facebook.com/USAT Rules Guide.